Within the last couple of days, we have noticed many attacks on Japanese entertainment. From voice actors, from human rights activists, from the Japanese Communist Party, from corporations within Japan, which are saying that they're moving away from the Japanese market and they're going to embrace the wider audience and they're going to cater more to the Western sensibilities. And all of these attacks, they're trying to go for different angles. Racismus, sexismus, and now, of course, from Vice News comes pedophilia. I mean, if you are going to take a publication that has a lot to say about pedophilia, I would definitely choose Vice News. If you guys remember, they actually had an article where they're defending legitimately pedophile, like people who actually claim to be. They went out of their way to find such an individual and then lecture the public about how you need to think and how you need to behave towards such individuals, right? So the same publication, Vice, is now making this very interesting documentary, which, of course, has comments with disabilities. But not only that, it's not just the disabilities that we are witnessing. This video cannot be seen in Japan. Like, they disabled people from Japan from seeing this video. This is how confident they are in their reporting. This is how confident they are in their arguments. And this highlights the exact way that Western mainstream media treats the public. They're not interested in a conversation. They're not interested in a discussion. They are interested in lecturing you like a priest lectures its congregation. And also, notice that despite the fact that this video has 600,000 views, it only has 12,000 likes. So, besides the fact that the video spreads harmful and dangerous misinformation, claiming that if you read in America some Japanese manga, you can end up in prison for 15 years. In other words, telling the mothers that they should be very concerned if their child watches or reads manga or watches anime. So they should encourage the children to watch Cuties on Netflix instead, or AJ and the Queen, you know, like progressive, modern, very beautiful and inclusive shows from Netflix. Like that's what you need to watch. Like send your kid to watch Disney, because manga can get your kid in prison for 15 years. And by the way, apparently people have said that that is not the case. The law in the United States states that a depiction, an art, which would be illegal, it would have to be indistinguishable from a real child. So like deep fakes or animations where the distinction cannot be made, those are the ones that would get you in prison. Now, regarding this particular topic, I would like to point out that they are treating all manga as problematic, right? Like they are trying to obfuscate. Are there certain mangas that are degenerate in nature, that are problematic, that you wouldn't want your kids to read, that even if you were to see one of your friends, which is an adult, reading it, you would look at them with disgust and disdain? Absolutely, right? Like those mangas exist. This is what happens when you have free speech. When you have free speech, you will get some of the negative elements. And yeah, I agree, like some manga has incest, it has loli, and it has like all of these things. But these do not represent the whole. These do not represent all of the manga industry. And this is the problem. This is why people are massively downvoting this, because their intention is not to solve the problem. Like, especially when you're complaining about Japanese entertainment and you're banning the video from Japan. And furthermore, they go on and they talk about crime statistics. Like, they literally try this shit. They attempt to claim that Japan has a problem with child abuse because of manga. Now, Japan is not a utopia. I do agree that there is problem in Japan. But comparing Japan to other nations, you would see that despite the fact that they have manga, the number of child abuses in Japan is quite smaller than compared to other nations per capita. Like, we're not even going to compare, well, because obviously in the United States, like, there's more children to be. But per capita, Japan is doing fine. Especially when it comes to criminal activity, comparing it to Scat Francisco, comparing it to the Epstein Island. Maybe this is why, you know, like, maybe Jeffrey Epstein, he really loved manga and anime. I mean, maybe Vice is onto something. Like, in the West, you literally have fucking publications like Vice promoting pedophilia, like glorifying it. Huh? Is this how the left says? Glorifying it. Yeah, that's the word you use. So the main problem that I have with this is not the fact that they're picking on manga. Right? I don't give a shit. The main problem is that this is part of the sustained attack. And you notice it from various activists from different fields tackling the same problem from different angles. Oh, manga is racist. Oh, anime is sexist. Oh, there's misogyny. Oh, it's so fucking problematic. The whole purpose is to put pressure on the companies to highlight the message that if you want to sell anime or manga to the West, you need to cater to Western sensibilities. The same way that if you want to sell Hollywood blockbusters to China, well, you need to start focusing on what the Chinese censors care about and start doing that. Because otherwise, you're not going to sell your movie. This is what they want to do with the West. Because they don't like it. Like, manga is just dominating. It's BTFOing Hollywood. It's BTFOing the other entertainments like Netflix, DC, Marvel, all of them. And you get to see, like, some of these publications that they have stocks that are owned by Disney. So Disney owns some of these publications that are against anime and manga. Which is what is actually happening. Like, this documentary, it's not like Vice caring about... Like, you're going to be a useful idiot if you genuinely think so. Right? Again, there are issues of manga that, indeed, they're very problematic. I agree, but they don't talk... Like, they don't care about those. Like, they use those as a Trojan horse in order to claim that the entire entertainment industry from Japan is problematic. This is like me going around and finding a couple of independent films that are smut films. I mean, in the 90s, there were a lot of them. And then I would make the argument that all of the movie industry is problematic because of those. You know, like you go and you talk about the Human Centipede and what was it, a Serbian film and a couple of other very problematic titles. And then you would draw the conclusion that all of the movies are evil. And the reason you would do this is to scare parents. Is to scare the people who have access to the money, who buy comic books and who buy entertainment for children. And you're scaring them, suggesting, oh, little Billy is reading a manga. Little Billy may go to prison for 15 years. Right? So this is the problem. Again, they know that this is the problem because otherwise they wouldn't have turned off the comment section. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you want to support the channel, there's a link into the pinned comment. And it will take you to my subscribe star, where you can get access to some really good buyer's remorse, and you can even have the comment sections enabled.